I highly suspect that Sam Leavitt is going to be a well-compensated individual in 2026. Now, I have been sprinkling, putting into the back burner of your minds for the last several weeks, this quarterback carousel. It's going to be crazy. The coaching carousel has been as wild as I can ever remember. Certainly since I have been hosting this particular show. There have been some crazy moves. Nothing like this past cycle. The quarterback carousel is going to be just as wild. And this is the first major move. Sam Leavitt leaving Arizona State to go where? I don't know, but I can assure you it is a place with a hefty amount of cash. Because I have it on good authority that Arizona State was prepared to offer a more than competitive amount for what a college quarterback goes for nowadays. Yes, well into the millions of dollars. But Sam Leavitt, of course, led Arizona State to the college football playoff last year. And when he played a full season, he unfortunately got hurt this year, leaving Arizona State fans wondering what if. But in 13 games last year, he threw for almost 2,900 yards, completing 62% of his passes, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Began his career at Michigan State, last 2 at ASU, and unfortunately for the Sun Devils, isn't going to play another snap in the maroon and gold. So Leavitt immediately becomes one of the most highly coveted guys on the market. This is somebody who is experienced in college football, has proven he can be a part of a winning program, has proven he can be a good quarterback, and in 7 games this year, by the way, was completing 61% of his throws for over 1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. So I think that Sam Leavitt, even as more names go into the portal, I can't see him being outside of the top 7 quarterbacks. And I would think he winds up inside the top 5. This is one of the 5 best transfer portal quarterbacks that is likely to move teams this year. He's pretty big. Coming off an injury, there is certainly some risk there. This is not a move where Arizona State was quietly forcing him out. They wanted him to stay. He didn't want to. Someone is going to pay Sam Leavitt a lot of money. He might already know who that's going to be. The portal opens in early January. It is going to be crazy, wild, unpredictable, and yes, I will be here for it all on the show. But Leavitt's a guy that can run. Leavitt's a guy that can throw. Leavitt's a guy that can lead, and he's going to his 4th year of college. And I believe he played just 4 games in 2023 at Michigan State. This could be a 2-year investment. Now, I think he has NFL potential. I don't know if he's immediately an NFL prospect. That might depend on how his 2026 season really goes. Not just with his play, but how he looks coming off of the injury as well. So the fact that somebody like this is out there, a multi-year starting quarterback at the Power 4 level that's been to the college football playoff with a team that was picked to finish last in the preseason media poll, is out there with potentially 2 years of college football left. That could garner a hefty price tag. And given the amount of money that I've been told is likely going to come his way, I don't think he's going anywhere that isn't Big Ten or SEC. Just a guess. Unless somebody like a Florida State, Thomas Castellanos, I don't believe got another year of eligibility. Maybe FSU's coming in with big money and they want to go and get him. Just a name that pops into my head. But I don't have anything to report on where he could be headed. We'll have to wait and see. But this is the first major domino to fall. And that runs counter to what happened in Berkeley. So I have talked about this guy for quite a while because he's one of the best quarterbacks in college football, and he will be for the next 2 years. Jaron Keawe Sagapolutele bursts onto the scene at Cal this year. The Bears are going to a bowl game. They went 7-5. Justin Wilcox got fired after the Stanford debacle, and they've hired Tosh Lupoy, Oregon's defensive coordinator. And that guy can recruit. He can really recruit. And if he can get JKS some, wide receivers, that would be cool. Because when JKS was throwing to anyone that wasn't David DeJesus this year, boy, it felt like it was usually a lost cause. So he's a stud. To me, he's Michael Penix reincarnated, just in Berkeley. And when Tosh Lupoi got to Cal, got announced as the head coach, he was so determined to keep JKS that he was at the press conference, he got introduced, he got on a flight, he went all the way to Hawaii, where JKS is from, to meet with him in person and say, hey, we want you to be a guy, we want you to stick around. And he says, yeah, Cal's the place for me. So that's the first major recruiting win of the Tosh Lupoi era in Berkeley, to keep him around. Because, again, when you're trying to build, and I don't know that Cal has as much building. They don't need building so much as they need tweaking. They're a 7-5 football team. How many head coaches? I had to clear my throat there. How many head coaches are walking into situations in which their team at the Power 4 level just went 7-5? John Summerall's not doing that at Florida. Eric Morris is not doing that at Oklahoma State. Bob Chesney's not going to do that at UCLA. Alex Golish isn't doing that at Auburn. Just keep going around. This could be the most immediate success, pending what happens with the transfer portal and how Tosh Lupoi fills out his staff. I think he is well qualified to be a good CEO head coach that recruits his tail off. That has always been his MO for his entire time being around college football. He is an alum of UC Berkeley, and I think that keeping JKS gives him the guy that he was looking to start with, and now he goes, okay, let's build around him. Because this is someone who has 2 years of college football left to play. It's like Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith would be the first receiver off the board tomorrow if the NFL draft were held. And he has to play another year of college football. Them's the rules. That's the way it goes. Well, JKS is going to be there for 2 years in Berkeley. Maybe the first year is a complete and utter disaster and he decides to go elsewhere. It felt, I talked about him at one point on the show as someone that felt like Miami's next quarterback, or in Indiana could have gotten into the fold. SEC schools would have come calling. Instead, Tosh Lupoi got there and said, nope, we're locking this guy down. What can we get in NIL? We're throwing it at this kid, and now he gets to work. And there's certainly work to be done, but it's not a complete and utter disaster. And in the ACC, Duke just played in the ACC championship game. Don't tell me what's possible in that conference. So I think Tosh Lupoi could be trending up right now at Cal in a big way. And keeping JKS is not just big news for the Bears. That's big news for everybody else. Because he was a name that I definitely had my eye on as someone who could have entered the transfer market and made an immediate impact anywhere he goes. If he'd been the quarterback at Texas this year, Texas is a college football playoff team. Instead, Texas is 9-3, and they, like Notre Dame, are just on the outside looking in and complaining. So that's big news for the Bears. I still expect there to be some big names, and I think this market of transfer quarterbacks is going to be much stronger than it was last year. But JKS says he will not be going into the transfer portal. Notably, no one's ever gone back on their word before. I think he will stay. Based on what I've been told, he likes it there. Tosh Lupoi, good recruit. I think they'll be just fine.